What was already a controversial deal to redevelop Ontario Place into a wellness facility and water park is now receiving that much more scrutiny as a result of an investigation by the New York Times. No matter the criticism and accusations of wrongdoing, the Ford government has continued to plow ahead with its deal to redevelop Ontario Place. The 95-year lease with Austrian-based company Therme, though, is being further questioned after a New York Times article saying, quote, Therme has misrepresented itself, misleading the Ontario government and exaggerating its experience in its bid to secure the Toronto deal. According to the Times, Therme falsely represented itself, saying it operated half a dozen spas in Europe when just one had been built in Romania. In addition, quote, auditors found that it was losing money and had less than €1 million, about $1.1 million, in equity. Premier Ford questioned about Ontario's deal with Therme and whether the government did its due diligence.
Just want to double and triple check the contract and make sure, anything that was said in the story from the Times, we'll look into it and make sure everything passes the smell test.
Last December, Ontario's Auditor General found the process for selecting a company for the redevelopment process was not fair, transparent, or accountable to all participants, and costs had ballooned by $1.8 billion.
This was a government that was elected to protect Ontarians, not to scam them. Okay, we pointed out from day one that there were questions about the financial status, stability of that company.
Why did the Premier greenlight a 95-year deal with a company that inflated its portfolio and couldn't pass a basic financial sniff test?
Therme passed the financial test that is done by the world-renowned arms-length agency in Infrastructure Ontario.
A statement from Therme Canada calls the Times story inaccurate and that the company and investors have substantial financial capacity. But the Times also determined there were similarities between two companies operating in Europe with the same name and similar logos, raising further questions.
Now I understand they're all one company. So one bought the other company. So I guess they're a larger, stronger company. But they're going to look into this allegation and find out.
Those two companies actually merged just last year and operate another facility in Munich as well. What makes this even more interesting beyond what's happening here in Ontario is that that company might be using this as leverage to open more facilities in England, Dubai, Washington, and Dallas. Mark McAllister, City News.